Hello,
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Congratulations. Our third place winner.
We made it. I was hoping to be in the rankings.
You excited?
I am. I'm very excited. So it's been definitely been a journey, that's for sure.
Well, let's hear about it. First and foremost, like why? Why did you want to do this? I and I know your family history, meaning that your mom has been a patient, your sister is currently a patient. So I know that they probably you saw their results and they were in your ear, but why you?
That
First
was
and foremost, you're not a diabetic.
right. That definitely was the hard question that I had to answer was why did I want to do it? Because I could see why my mom did it. I could see why my sister was going towards it, but I wanted to see how we could change my journey. And right now, I had been dealing with a lot of different things with my POTS, my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So all of that, I was having a lot of different symptoms from that, and I was gaining weight, and so I knew that was also causing problems. And I realized if I didn't take control now, then I would be in the same boat that my mom is in later on in life. And I wanted to make sure I was doing everything I could now to make sure I didn't have to worry about that later.
Good for you. So proactive. But you weren't without symptoms. What were you struggling with?
Biggest thing was energy level. I had zero energy. So even just getting up out of bed was a struggle. And I'm only 32, so I shouldn't be having issues with just getting out of bed. And
Well, that comes with the POTS too.
right,
So
definitely.
explain to those who may not know what POTS is, what it is, when you were diagnosed, and what it results in.
Ooh, so it's been about Mm, I'd say about 6 years that I was diagnosed with POTS. And basically, it's whenever I stand up, my heart rate goes really high and the blood is kind of pooling in my legs instead of circulating properly. And so I get really dizzy and basically I can pass out pretty quickly. So my heart rate would get up super high and then my blood pressure would drop, and so then you're in pass out territory. So that was the biggest thing that I was dealing with, was that. And so I was on some medications to try to help keep my heart rate down and then my blood pressure up.
Sure. So what's supposed to happen is when someone goes from a seated to a standing position,
Right.
the adrenal glands fire adrenaline. Adrenaline is released from, it goes to the heart, and your heart pumps harder to offset the effects of gravity so that you can get enough blood flowing to your brain in time so that you do not get lightheaded, dizzy, or feel like you need to pass out. And with POTS, it is an autoimmune disease where you have difficulty with being able to regulate adrenaline surges and heart pumping. And it takes a bit longer than the average person.
Mm-hmm.
So you had incredible fatigue. You had gained, I remember, gained a bunch of weight since your diagnosis as well.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
much weight did you gain about?
Oh, I'd say I gained probably around 30 pounds just
Okay.
because I wasn't able to get up and exercise anymore. And then I had no energy. So I was not the best about actually making meals and doing all of that because it was easier to grab something or to choose a very fast and easy thing to cook, which is not generally the healthier thing to cook. So that didn't help because every time I got up, I'd feel like I was going to pass out. So I kind of just gave up and the exercising and the whole eating healthy thing.
Also have a little one. You have a little one, so it's difficult
That
and
was that was a big factor too. I became a foster parent and I realized keeping up with a 2 year old and when I got him a 1 year old was a lot. And
yeah,
so I needed all the energy that I could to be able to keep up with him. And if this goes further into possibly adoption, I need to be around for him. So I
uh,
wanted to make sure that I could do that.
right on. I think that is great, a great motivating factor, and he is just a cutie. Holy moly. So
Very cute.
uh, that's awesome. So you decided to do the challenge. Very, very cool. So at the beginning, looking at your blood work, which we have back from October
Hmm.
of last year, cholesterol was your LDLs were high. The thing that worried me most, and I know you as well, because you've been following along and you knew what it meant. CRP is an inflammatory marker surrounding your heart, and that should not be above one.
Right,
Anything above one increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. Anything above three is a significant increase in heart attack and stroke. You were at 4.23. So
right.
that was not
Not
good.
good.
Not good,
I
to say
agree.
the least. Inflammation was high, uric acid very high. Um, Another marker that worried me, maybe not you as much, but I know this goes hand in hand with CRP,
Hmm.
is fibrinogen. And what fibrinogen is clotting factor, specifically heart and stroke, heart attack and stroke. And fibrinogen should not be above 300. And you were at 441. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that with the CRP. No bueno. Also, ferritin, which is stored iron. This is less of a red flag, but you don't want that over 100. You were at 101. But man, so we had some room for improvements. How was the challenge? How did you do with the dietary restrictions and the supplements?
I think I did pretty well with it. I was very much, I think it helped to have a challenge and know I was competing. I like competition, so I think that helped me. I'm a very competitive person, so I think that helped to have something that I was working towards and to keep me on track a little bit better. The it went well. I think my biggest thing that I learned from it was planning. It is all about planning. And if you
Yeah.
don't plan for what your meals are going to be, then you might as well just toss it out the window because you're probably not going to do well. Because you have to know what you're going to be eating for lunch, what you're going to be eating for supper. Because
Food prep.
if you're not, then when you're driving back home, you're going to be a lot more tempted to make a detour than
I
if you
say it
already
all
have
the
something
time.
ready to go.
Absolutely correct. I totally agree with that. If you don't have, what do they say? If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
And it's food prep for sure. I
Hmm.
talk about those yellow and red signs that are meant to trigger neuroreceptors in our brain because that's what the eyes are attracted to. They're all their fast food signs.
Hmm.
McDonald's being the biggest one, but I mean, you'll get tempted if you are not ready and to have food ready when you get hungry. Oh man, and you're in the wrong country because
Well,
they will get you. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. I went ahead and my mom, thankfully, has already gone through this. So she had some recipes that she had been using that were tried and true. So I started making things that I knew already worked, that were already part of the plan. And so I started making things ahead of time so I could freeze some of it, so I could just pull it out and let it thaw while I was at work. So I was ready to go when I got back, and then plan days that I was actually going to cook and get everything made too. So it helped to plan it. It really wasn't too bad. I think the hardest thing was just I did get a little bit chickened out by the end of it because I was ready to try a little bit of something else. But really, I was kind of surprised. The is it the turkey?
Yeah.
Uh, Ground turkey was actually really good. I'd really not had much of ground turkey before, but I was impressed that it was very similar to beef, in my opinion. So I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
impressed with how well it worked.
I use ground turkey and ground chicken a lot, actually. So yeah, cool. Awesome. So all right, you want to share how we did? How much weight did you lose in it what amounts to the challenge
The
was
challenge,
4 weeks long.
right?
Some people turned it into 5 weeks. They started a little early. How did you do? How much weight did you lose?
I lost 14 pounds. It
That's amazing.
was a lot. I was
That is
impressed. I didn't
fantastic.
expect it to be that big of a number, but I was excited about that.
Well, like I had mentioned, that this was a blood sugar reset weight loss challenge. Now, we didn't have to reset your blood sugar, but we
Right.
did have other health issues like that CRP, like the inflammation. that we were looking to improve. And we had room for improvement there. You definitely lost the weight, so that's great. But we did have others that lost more weight than you. So why did Kaitlyn win third place? So let me tell you why. Your CRP, which was the major um, red flag that I saw at 32 years old, to have really at any age to have your CRP above 1, let alone above 3 for a high risk. You went from um, 4.23, your CRP, to 1.81 in 4 weeks, 5 weeks. That's just spectacular. And that just shows how much inflammation you were able to reduce. Now, you're not out of the woods, obviously, but that is significant.
A lot
4
closer
point.
than I was before.
That's right. Yeah,
Take it.
right. Also, homocysteine went down from 8. You don't want that 8.1. You don't want that over 7 to 6.7, which is beautiful. Uric acid came down from 6.1 to 5.6, and fibrinogen clotting factor, which you do not want to be above 300, and you were at 441, is now at 282. Normal. Woohoo, man, that is awesome. By the way, your cholesterol markers were pretty good. Total cholesterol needs to be under 200. You were at 186. That fell to 148.
Mhm.
Triglycerides stayed about the same, still under 100, both normal. But LDL was high. LDL was at 123. You want that under 100, and is now at 86. So, whoa, yeah, man, it's great stuff. Now, to really upset people, your A1C went from 5.0, which most people would kill to have an A1C at 5.0, especially in this group, fell to 4.9. So a type 2, a non-diabetic,
Just
uh,
went down.
went down in A1C. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, also, lastly, your insulin, which should not be above 5, was at 5 point, I'm sorry, was at 7.6,
Mhm.
almost enough for two people. And it now is at 5.3. So yeah, man, you are proactive. You definitely got into the driver's seat so that you didn't go down the same path
Right.
as your mom, for sure. You definitely you nipped it in the bud. We have to continue on this path of health and wellness. But man, you lost a ton of weight. How about energy? Do you have more energy?
I do have more energy. I can feel an uptick in that. I still think we can get better, which is what I'm still
Oh,
working on, but I do feel better in the mornings getting up. So that's always a good sign.
and your nut milk maker should be there either today or tomorrow. That'll help.
Haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited. I'm excited to
Ah,
try it out and see how to do this.
it's
Never
great.
made milk before like that.
Who was that? I think it was Pam. Pam said that she had gone on to the website for Almond Cow, and there's all kinds of recipes. You can make all these different like cocktails and stuff with them. Like, get out of Dodge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Who
check
would
it
have
out.
thought that could
Um,
make that?
yeah, we're gonna stay away from the cocktails anyway. Um,
Well, I
all
even
right.
saw with my iron too, there was a big difference from I think it was
Oh
150
yes,
something. That was a big
yeah,
difference, and it wasn't a supplement. It was just changing my water. So I didn't
absolutely
think that that
right.
was a real thing about the water, but it is. So
Yeah,
get
no,
reverse
I'm glad
osmosis.
you. Yes, you got a portable unit. Yes.
Yes, so I've one on my countertop. So since I started the challenge, I've only used that water, and my iron went down into a normal level. So that's good.
Yeah, you had almost iron toxicity. I'm glad you brought that up. And typically, whenever I see people who have too much iron in their blood serum, almost always it is their source. So I had asked you if you were using tap water,
Yeah,
and you said that yeah, you had intended on getting the RO. Iron should be between 80 and 120. You were at 152.
right,
152. But after changing your to reverse osmosis water, your iron fell down to 100, which
right.
is perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm
Um,
doing it.
awesome, man. Awesome. I love seeing people get into the driver's seats of their own health and wellness, especially a West.
The name.
It is, man. It is. I'm so happy for you, your mom, your sister. And you are a third place winner in the Health Challenge Weight Loss to Reset or whatever it's called. Congratulations, Kaitlyn.
Woo! I'll
Really
take
proud of you.
it.
Keep up the good work. I know you will.
Yes,
You're continuing to work with us throughout the rest of the phases. So
yes,
rock on. Can't wait to see what we have at the end of the race. You're
yes.
off to a great start, man.
Mhm.
Last words. What would you say to anyone out there in the community listening, wondering whether or not this can be done for them? What would you tell them?
I had a lot of doubts to begin with when my mom first mentioned you. And I looked you up and I watched your videos and I wasn't convinced that you were a true person
Those
that
guests are tough, man. I'll
didn't
tell
know if
you.
this was a gimmick or not. And so, but seeing my mom and the results from that, again, it was more of a tough sell for my mentality because I didn't have any trouble with diabetes or anything like that. So I wasn't really concerned about that. But I had to think about, is this worth it for me to jump into it? And do I think it's going to be beneficial to me? And I do think that you're taking back control of your life, whether that's someone who has diabetes or someone who doesn't. It's still taking back that control and living healthier so you can do more things and you can be there for your family and your friends and be able to work and to be able to come home and to do everything that you want to do. And so even though you may not have diabetes, it's still obviously there's room for improvement for everyone, but I do think it's helped me a lot and it's taught me a lot to be able to push forward and hopefully not have future issues that I could be leading into if I'm not careful.
Yes. Awesome. Well said. This is a lifestyle change. And while I specialize and prefer working with patients who have type 2 diabetes, this is it for anyone that's got autoimmune diseases, underactive thyroids, hormone irregularity, POTS,
Mm-hmm.
any kind of illness, chronic disease that you are fighting. This is the lifestyle that one must adopt. This is how we are intended to live for maximum health and wellness. And um, what's super cool is that your mom, so all of you can watch her mom, Gina West. She is a Star is Born. And I think her Star is Born segment was just reposted and is probably in the feed. So if you want to meet Kaitlyn's mom and hear her story, which is an awesome story of reversal as well. Super cool. Those Wests, they're tough. Yeah, so I remember with your mom really wanted to do the program, but she had her doubts, and I spoke to her for some time
Right.
before she finally jumped on board, and then she had just the most miraculous results, which I knew she would because um, even though those West women are tough, they also are very strong-minded, and when they put their mind to
Has
something,
the willpower
they
for
have the
sure. We get it
willpower.
from her for sure.
And I got that from all three of you when speaking with you. So once your mom jumped on, man, I knew that she was going to be a Star is Born.
Mhm.
So glad that she is and was, and then she was able
Expected to
to.
be a family ordeal.
That's it. Nothing makes me happier, by the way. I have so many families now. I don't know if I have any three-member family as patients, but it's the greatest feeling in the world when you're not only able to help one person, but the entire family. Yeah.
We'll
Love
take
it.
it.
Love it. Well, it's my pleasure. And you do all the hard work. It's the lifestyle change. Really, uh, you can speak to this, Kaitlyn. Is it mentally? You have to be ready, yes?
Yes, most assuredly. It is a mental game because you have to fight yourself on whether or not you're going to do it that day or be as good as you should, or someone brings donuts to work upstairs or decides to bring pizza in to surprise everybody. And you just say, I'm not even walking upstairs. I'm not going to the break room. I will stay in my office. I will stay down here because I can't do it. I can't handle the temptation. So it
Well,
is a mental game for sure.
you can, and you did. So good for you. And right on. And you're reaping the rewards of it. You
Right.
feel better, you lost some weight, you're more important. You know what? Like, that's great. I love feeling better. I love losing weight. That's cool stuff. But more importantly, the proof is in the pudding. Your blood work is better. You
Hmm.
have a reduced risk for heart attack and stroke. We have reduced and decreased inflammation. Our iron is normal, man. We're working on ourselves and improving. And you're right. You got to take care of yourself because now you got a little one to take care of too.
That's true.
Well, right on. Thanks for sharing your story. Congratulations again. Let us know how you like your almond milk maker. It's really a nut maker. I don't know why they call it an almond cow. You can use any kind of nut in it you like.
Hmm.
But enjoy it and congrats and stay in touch. You know I'll be in touch with you and
Yes.
keep a close eye on you. I'm right here.
Sounds good. You're stuck
Keep
with
up.
us a little while longer.
I listen. I'm gonna stick with the West until all their numbers go south. That's a bad dad joke. So sorry.
That was, but it's okay. I forgive you. I'll still talk to you.
Oh, Kaitlyn. All right. Well, I wish we were finishing on a better note. My apologies. I won't give up my day job. Yeah.
That's all right. You have kids, so I get it.
Well, congratulations again and
Yes.
rock on. And
Thank you.
yeah.
Woo-hoo. We did it.
All right. Hold